Linton Mchunu, please take the floor. And we're going to also, Linton, there you are. You're joining us. Linton, you are the director general, the director general, indeed, of the Department of Social Development in the government of South Africa. It is, again, a pleasure and honor to have you with us. So, Mr. Mchunu, let me pose to you the same question. What is your government? I mean, South Africa is very well endowed. You have a lot of political efficiency, capacity. So when the COVID hit the country, and we know you were hit hard there in South Africa, you were hit hard. What was your government's response in terms of the broader intervention? What was the package? How did you build on what already existed on the ground? If not, what kind of adaptations and revisions and innovations did you bring in to the COVID context response? Over to you, Mr. Mchunu.
Thank you very much, Program Director, and thank you for the invitation to be part of this very important show engagement. Let me start by firstly outlining South Africa's social protection system. I think it's important that I deal with that quickly, and then I would then come to the specifics insofar as the question is.
You don't have much time. You don't have much time.
Okay, maybe let me then go to it. Okay, no problem. I think the important thing for us is that we through our social security agency SASSA, and together with ourselves as the Department of Social Development, we leveraged on what the President introduced, which was basically a social and economic relief package of around 500 billion rands, which translates to about $32 billion US. And in essence, that was to really cushion the most vulnerable in society that had suffered through COVID-19. And I think those efforts were really useful. What we did was through our SASSA system, we currently pay around 18 million grants, 12 million of which are actually children. So we leveraged on that system and we introduced a new program which was called a Special COVID-19 Social Relief of Distress Grant, which we paid we paid to about 6.5 million people. That was started in May. It was supposed to conclude in October, but the President has since extended it to the end of January 2021. And again, this is to assist the most vulnerable and the poorest in society. And I think what's happened is that from the 6.5 million people, we have about the majority of which of these are between the ages of 18 and 35, and the majority are actually male. Which in itself speaks volumes in terms of the kind of challenge that we have insofar as skills development in the country, because those would fall into a category which we call the NEET group, not in education, employment and training. So that's the one challenge that we have, which we're still dealing with. We spent about 41 billion rand already using this process, and I think the important thing is that we use the infrastructure and the footprint of SASSA, because we have our post offices which are in every single city literally, and we are paying using vouchers in this regard, and people are able to collect these grants at either post offices, at retail stores or at banks, and I think we've been able to use that particular footprint to do this work.
Mr. Mchunu, let me jump in there. I want to jump in on something before you lose that thought. So I want to just carry that thought. January 2021, that particular program, the social relief is going to end. What happens to those 18, 35-year-old young men, and we know who are desperately in need? All of a sudden in January, no more need? What is going to happen? What's going to happen? Tell us about that and the permanence of a shock responsive support. Could you please speak to us on that, please?
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's a very important question. I think what's important is that we were supposed to have ended this grant in October. but we took a decision through the guidance of the president to further extend it to January, noting the impact that this is going to make. Now, I know that after January, there is certainly going to be an outcry, but the reality is that we have to, we're dealing with a strained fiscus as a country. And we're trying to look at different measures and means. What the president has now introduced is a reconstruction and economic recovery plan, which is supposed to take the country further, having faced the challenges of COVID-19. And through that plan, we are trying to now push young people, especially that age group, into economic opportunities. We are focusing on infrastructure development, local economic development, but we're also leveraging on existing systems and trying to improve those, particularly in terms of increasing our energy capacity, so that we're able to get some young people into some of these areas. And we are building some what we call skills for the economy, so that young people are able to move out of the grant system, but into an economic system, an economic development system at least.
Absolutely. That is ideal. And you have just sent us some very strong messages: economic opportunity, reducing vulnerability through a sustainable system, the energy capacity, very interesting angle, skills development. I mean, in the long term, that's the permanent lifting out of poverty.